If anyone causes one of these little ones that believe in me to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. This is the only passage in the Bible in which Jesus Christ says that a man who corrupts a child should better kill himself. Would it make any difference to you whether your child ended up with a sect, pedophiles, or an organ donor? Or does it matter at all?
Pedophiles is the worst option, I guess. Otherwise...
Why?
Because it's evil, right? Though, as a person who wants to sell their child, I'm in no position to judge. No, I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter after all. Honestly, I just want to get rid of a problem.
Someone from the criminal underworld got in touch with me, told me about a girl willing to sell her child to a brothel or as an organ donor. I decided to save that child and make a documentary about it. I began by removing the girl from a criminal environment and finding her a place to stay in a different town. The sale of the child was foiled by the COVID-19 pandemic and the restrictions on cross-border traffic. What happened when you found out you were pregnant? What were your first thoughts?
I started looking for a solution. I immediately knew I couldn't have the child, so I was looking to resolve the problem. I believe I made the best decision I could.
Although I managed to relocate the girl to a different town, she was still controlled by an agent who wanted to sell her child.
When we already knew she was pregnant, I contacted my colleague, a well-known person in the criminal underworld, and simply told him I had a child for sale. I wanted to sell that child for spare parts, to a brothel, to pedophiles. I didn't give a fuck where it'd go. I just wanted to sell it and make money. So he said he'd help me.
What do you mean, to a brothel? Such small kids are used in brothels too?
Of course. It's pretty common in Germany.
Meaning?
Meaning, such small kids are first put up with a family that raises them until they turn 3 or 4, and then they are sent to a brothel.
The sale of a newborn baby is carried through in such a way that in the hospital the mother signs the child trafficker in as the father. Then he takes the baby abroad. No one will ever look for them, as the baby is officially somewhere in Europe with its father. Do you have any emotional attitude toward the baby?
No. I'm trying to think practically.
And when you learnt the baby's gender, did that little person become more real in your head?
No.
What do you feel when you look at your belly?
Nothing. Disgust. I don't like it at all. I'd like to get rid of it.
Why do you think your life would be over if you had the baby?
Because it's slavery. It's a tie. It's sleepless nights. A baby's not a dog you can teach to be alone for several hours or so. It's not like a cat, for example, that you can leave it with a litter box, a bowl of water, some food, and go away for 3 days.
Which is more profitable? Selling the child for organs or to a brothel?
For the mother, selling the child as an organ donor.
Do you know the final price of the organs? How much a child like that costs in Europe?
Yes, I do.
All in all, how much is the heart, for example?
I know the liver costs 70,000 Polish zlotys. It's a black market. So it's obvious only wealthy people who have a lot of money are involved. If their child is ill, this is their way to ensure its longer life.
What's the greatest demand?
The liver, the heart, the retina, the eyes, the retina.
Do you know the price of the retina or the heart?
The heart is worth almost 70,000, but euros.
What's your approach to selling a child?
Honestly, if it wasn't for this child, who is merchandise, I wouldn't be able to do it. But the thing is, if there's a possibility to earn quite good money on it, why not? They offer 50 to 150,000. It depends.
Do you believe it's a good price, 50, for a child?
Without intermediaries, I'd say it's enough.
Enough for what?
To make up for those 9 months. Where else could a young person like me earn 50,000 in 9 months?
Have you thought what you'd buy with that money?
No, but if I could afford it, perhaps a nice car?
Clothes?
A phone? New shoes?
Did you get any offers?
We are offered 80,000.
Was that offer attractive?
It seemed so at the beginning, especially since I knew she'd have to bear that child and then go through a recuperation process. So I knew she'd need money. Therefore, it seemed attractive, but later I did more research and figured out someone was trying to con us in a way that instead of giving us the price in euros, they did it in Polish zlotys.
What's the name of the portal?
Its name is Sperm Donors, Let's Make Babies. It's a website where different people post their ads. Women who want to give away or sell their children. Women seeking co-parenting. I posted an ad in which I offered a child for money. After I'd done that, I received replies from 4 families, but I also read other posts. I liked 2 of them because they were looking for girls.
How did you figure out it was trading?
Every time a little baby is involved, we know these ads have been posted by people who want to get rid of such a baby. And they don't care where the baby will end up. Our post was among them. All I cared about was that somebody took the child and paid so that I could share the money with the mother.
So you didn't care much about the children's fate?
No, I don't really. I care about my own child. My child is most important to me.
Do you believe in God?
No, I don't believe in God.
Do you believe people get punished for doing such things later in life?
No, I don't. If that was the case, I would have gotten punished long ago. Hundreds of times.
So as to not think of the unborn baby as an object and to treat it like a human being, I gave it a name. Do you think your baby has feelings? Do you identify yourself with it?
No. No, I don't. I think it's too small. A baby like that can't understand pain, fear, or happiness. At least that's what I think. I don't identify myself with it at all.
Do you know it can hear your voice now?
Yes, but I'm not giving it a thought.
And the beating of your heart?
I'm not thinking about it.
Why not?
Why would I? I don't feel a need for that. There's no point in thinking about it. There's no point at all. I'm here and the baby's there. We are two completely different worlds. At least, that's how I see it.
Did you give your baby a name?
No.
What name will you give it in hospital then?
I don't know. Perhaps I'll ask a midwife to come up with something. I have no idea. I'm not thinking about those things yet.
Once I got involved in all this, I gave the baby a name,
What is it?
Marcelina.
Very nice. Let it be Marcelina then.
I thought I'd like to think and perceive him or her as a human being and not as a dehumanized object, so that I could communicate with it in my head as with a concrete person.
I believe that giving it a name would, in a way, cause you to show interest in the whole process and how it should look, and some things like preparing a layette for the hospital. I guess it might have a huge impact on my head. That's why I avoid such situations. I haven't given it a name. I haven't thought about a name. I don't do such things. I'm just supposed to bear this child.
Do you consider a possibility that your emotions might change and you'll regret it?
No.
I was afraid they might open the borders at any time and the mother would flee abroad to sell the child there. In order to have control over this, I had to get to the trafficker. Do you think it's possible for me to talk to someone from Germany who specializes in child brothels
You know what?
or transplants?
I guess it is possible. But someone would have to set you up with a person. Even more so since those child brothels for pedophiles are mainly run by Muslims.
Why?
Their religion and culture does not prohibit them from having sex with children. They have wives or husbands who are 5 or 10 years old, so it's not a problem for them. Therefore, it's the Arabs that mainly run those places.
How can such an interview be arranged?
I'd have to ask around.
Do it then.
I will.
For over a month, I was trying to get in touch with a trafficker. What did the child trafficker say? Help me understand what I need to do.
Hold on.
Go on Skype, and then what?
Yes, go on Skype. Enter your login. Your login is an email address that has been set up for the sake of this conversation.
What's the address?
The address is grayass2020@hotmail.com. Then you need to enter a password to your Skype account. It starts with a capital letter, demoralization, and you're in. Your nickname, your fake Skype first and last name is Gray Zone. He will...
Gray Zone has already been set up?
Yes,
I don't have to do anything?
exactly. This is your first and last name, Gray Zone. You will receive an invitation from him. You won't see his login, only his nick, Eminence Germany. The guy needs to feel safe. He's also afraid.
Weeks passed, but the Skype conversation didn't come through. Why does he keep postponing our interview? Is it so hard to set up?
I received a message. It was on Sunday or Saturday. Was it Friday? I can't remember exactly. On Friday. Or on Saturday, he sent me a message that he was very sorry, but he had to go away to pick up some merchandise. I figure he wasn't going to pick up a cardboard of smokes or vodka, but he was going to pick up a child. For him, a living child, a living human being is merchandise. He doesn't even call a child, he calls it merchandise, because that's what it is for him. It's an object that can be monetized. He'd sell his own mother for organs if she wasn't so old. No one wants her organs anymore.
Does he have his own child?
Yes, a son.
Do you think he has any human feelings for him?
No, because for what I know, his son cooperates with him. So it's more of a business partnership rather than a father-son relationship.
So his son kidnaps children too?
He delivers them. Despite the fact the whole thing takes place in Germany or in the Netherlands. There are organized rings here that work non-stop like ants to track those women. To get to know their daily routines and habits. To see what they do, where their children are, where they leave them. Therefore, I believe this practice is meticulously planned and carried through.
It's a whole
process.
It's a whole team of people that look for those women, right?
Of course it is. When I talked to him, he told me he comes to Poland, for example, and very often looks for the girls himself. Allegedly.
Where?
In parks, stores, restaurants, cafes. Allegedly, after so many years in the business, he has an 80% chance to successfully identify a pregnant girl who'd at least be willing to talk to him.
He identifies them like police officers are taught to identify criminals.
Yes.
As they walk the streets to identify thugs, so does he find his victim?
To find the right girl. He told me it depends on a number of factors: clothes, behavior, or appearance. Later, when he's already talking to the girl, he told me that pretty soon, over a cup of tea or something, he's able to tell whether he's wasted his time or could take it a step further.
How much do those girls charge for this?
About 2,000 or 3,000 euros. 5,000 euros if they are resistant. But it often happens they get no money at all.
You mean they're conned, or are they
Yes.
so keen to get rid of the problem?
No, they are conned. It does happen.
They are told they'll get paid in arrears, so they give their child away and are left with nothing?
Yes. Or they get 100 euros to keep them smiling. Just to have them get a glimpse of cash.
So he doesn't even have to bother to kidnap the children, as it would be a serious thing, including the police hunt and everything, yes?
No, he doesn't. But if there is demand, as he puts it, if there is demand for a particular commodity, it is sometimes a matter of hours. Then the whole machine he's involved with focuses on delivering a specific child at a specific age, so they have to kidnap it.
How many brothels do they have?
4.
How many children are in each of them?
Last time I asked, there were 7 of them in one of the German brothels.
Do those children live there?
Yes.
Do they even leave the brothel?
No.
So they never go out for a walk, right?
They do go outside with a chaperone that watches them, but they never go beyond the wall or the fence.
So it happens inside a house, right?
Yes, in a house. A regular house.
So a child ends up there at the age of about 4?
Yes, about 4.
Why 4?
It depends on what the clients want.
And then the child is stuffed with drugs?
Yes, they're stuffed with drugs, cocaine or amphetamine. But the child usually has intercourse with a pedophile about once a week only. That's why there are so many of them, to stay in business. There must be a lot of children.
Why only once a week?
A child can't be kept on cocaine or amphetamine all the time, because it might kill them.
So they're given drugs only during an intercourse?
Before an intercourse, whenever the need arises. It's such a hermetic world that they know even several days earlier when and which pedophile will come and ask for a child.
Till what age does a child remain in a brothel?
Until the age of 12 or 13.
Then what?
They are sent to a regular brothel, because such a child is no longer able to change their life. Their mind is so fucked up, and so is their world, that the only thing they can do is go to an adult brothel.
And how long do they stay there?
As long as they can. If they're good at what they do.
Can they go out, or do they remain locked up?
They may go out, just like in the brothels in Poland, but a child like that generally becomes a social misfit. They suffer from social phobias as they have never gone to school. They are taught on the spot what to say or how to sign their name at the most.
After many weeks, the agent told me the trafficker would contact me by phone that night. I'm really glad you finally called me and we can talk directly, because with intermediaries, intentions are never fully clear, and so on.
I'd rather meet in person.
That'd be great. Just tell me when we could do it. Do you have any idea? Do you have any plans? Or is it still up in the air?
I have to stay here for a few days. I have some business to attend to.
The trafficker broke off contact with me, and it seemed we'd never get to meet. No, nothing. What do you think might have happened?
I was afraid it was some sort of setup. Do you know how many Polish children have no graves? So fucking many.
The trafficker would change the time of our meeting several times. Finally, 30 minutes before the interview, he told me where to go.